Greetings, Midcoast Ukes. Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new tutorial. I'd like to teach you a little bit about the 1-6-2-5 progression. Very common chord progression in jazz music, but it's also a common chord progression in late 50s doo-wop rock and roll music too. It's one of those essential chord progressions. I did kind of a fancy version of it just there with some more exotic chords, but I'll show you simple chords today, and we can learn to fancy those up as we go. If any of you are curious about that, let me know about pretty chords and exotic chords and jazz chords and all that kind of thing. Fancy chords, however you say it. I'd be glad to show you those. But in the meantime, let's learn a simple 1-6-2-5 in the key of C. Some of this will be review for some of you. You might already have your 1-6-2-5s totally memorized in the 5 popular ukulele keys, but if you don't, this is for you. This is going to be a pretty thorough overview. So in the key of C, 1 is C, 6 is A minor, 2 is D minor, and 5 is G or G7, whichever you prefer. They're both correct. I'm going to choose G7 in this case. And that is an awful lot like something like Blue Moon or 26 Miles, Santa Catalina, that kind of song. Pretty common sound in popular music from the 50s and beyond. And even before that, actually. Rodgers and Hart, Gershwin's, Cole Porter, that stuff that happened, Hammerstein, way back in the 20s and 30s actually had that progression quite a bit, but it got very popular in the 50s with the advent of doo-wop music. All right, so that's it in the key of C, and if you wanted to make it a little fancier, instead of C, do C major 7. So instead of the 3rd fret, press down on the 2nd fret of your A string and you get C major 7. Very easy, accessible, quick way to sound jazzy is to do C major 7 instead of C. Let's try it with that, with C major 7, and see what we get. That changes the character of it when you just change that one little note. Makes a difference. By the way, you're probably wondering, what is that ukulele you're playing? I just got this. It's a brand new Romero mahogany tiny tenor. Beautiful instrument. I'm really liking it quite a bit. Got it from Hawaii Music Supply. And it's a great ukulele for just under $1,000, between $500 and $1,000 you can get. This is the most expensive ukulele I've ever bought, but it's well worth it. It's very pretty sounding, and it's very light and small and portable and easy to hold without a strap, although I did order a strap that I'm getting soon. And just loving it. It's a great instrument. Real sweet tone and real shiny glossy finish and beautiful wood. Very impressed with the quality of Romero creations. Pepe Romero is a famous Spanish guitar maker. His family has been making classical and flamenco guitars for a long time now. But Pepe makes ukuleles now and is a really good ukulele maker. This is in conjunction with Daniel Ho. Daniel Ho being the son of Don Ho, and Don Ho, the famous Hawaiian singer. But Daniel Ho, great ukulele player, great Hawaiian slack key guitar player. This is kind of his design. These are custom made for him, and they even have his initials right there, or his signature. So yeah, highly recommended, the tiny tenor. I know one of our Midcoast Ukes members has one in spalted mango, I think, and that's a beautiful instrument too. This is just slightly different, you know, mahogany. But anyway, enough about this uke. Let's get back into chords here. So we did the key of C. Let's do the key of G. Let's do a 1-6-2-5 in G. And before I do, let's figure out what those are. So G is 1, A minor is 2, B minor is 3, C is 4, D is 5, E minor is 6. Okay, there's the 6th chord, 1, 6. And then we already talked about 2 and 5. We talked about A minor being 2 and D or D7 being 5. So let's take a whirl through that and see what happens. kind of has about the same sound, the same quality, that doo-wop thing going on in there as the one we did in C. It's just this happened to be in the key of G. So once you learn it in one key, the other keys start to get a little bit easier. All right, let's quickly move on to the key of D. So in D, it's going to be D is the 1 chord, E minor is the 2 chord, F sharp minor is the 3 chord. If you don't know F sharp minor, you should learn it. It's a very important chord. G is the 4 chord, A is the 5 chord, and B minor is that magical 6 chord. So we have 1, 6, 2, 5. 1, 6, 2, 5. See, where's that leave us? Well, we're in the key of A now. This is going to be the 4th out of 5 keys. In A, our chord progression is going to be A, F sharp minor, D, E. Or if we're using the actual 2 chord instead of D, we are going to be doing B minor. So like this. Notice that how I did E7. I avoid E. Most of you probably avoid E. We don't like E, so we do E7 instead. So A, F sharp minor, which is really easy to get to from A, by the way. You just take an A chord and drop your 3rd finger onto the E string 2nd fret, and easy chord change. B minor, or I prefer B minor 7, just a straight bar across all 4 strings, and E7. So again, A, F sharp minor, B minor, E7. Let's do that together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very common to hear that in the key of A. All right, last but not least, we're going to switch on over to the key of F, the 5th and final common ukulele key. So we have F being the 1 chord, D minor is the 6th chord, G minor or G minor 7 is the 2 chord, and C or C7 is the 5 chord, or C9 or whatever version of C you want to do, but let's keep it simple. So again, F, D minor, G minor, C. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it. That's how to make the 1, 6, 2, 5 yours, and to own that progression in 5 different keys. If you can do that, you're coming along. You are pretty knowledgeable about chords. You're pretty fluent in changing from chord to chord in a steady tempo, a steady beat like that. And you're even getting a little jazzy. You're starting to throw in some prettier chords, some 7ths and 9ths and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed that, Midcoast Ukers. I hope you learned a lot about that. Look for a song list. I'll try to come up with a nice list for you of lots of songs that use the 1, 6, 2, 5 besides Blue Moon and some of the more typical ones. All right, Midcoast Ukers, you take care. I'll see you tomorrow night at our jam. Bye-bye.